How do? Time for Spider and Old Scooter again. Take just a moment to plug the books. areluctantgod.blogspot.com is the book blog for, guess what, A Reluctant God, my science fiction novel of 2014. You can get an ebook free now. After a couple of years, most self-published guys drop their ebook free. I personally like books you can hold, but I got out, dusted off my ebook reader today, my Kindle, an early version, and I kind of like reading. It's very handy. You can get a bunch of books on one instead of carrying a box of books with you on the airplane. So that's good. So, and then there's the new book, Ms., the one I keep threatening to record a audiobook of and intend to get around to it one of these days. So anyway, that's one of the functions of this. The main function is to play Spider Solitaire. Thus, it's called Spider and Old Scooter. There it are. We'll leave this up just as a sales reminder in case you feel the urge to buy a fun book. That's about as humble as I can be about it. Spider Solitaire, and that's what I want to play. I haven't decided what to call this game. Maybe it'll occur to me before the end, and then it'll be in the little blurb about the name of the game. The name of the game. So I'm going to just dive right in and play a little Spider Solitaire. I'm torn somewhat. I mean, I'm not bleeding or anything, but you know what I mean. I'm conflicted over whether I should spend more energy and time on this Spider and Old Scooter thing, concentrating on the game itself, and Spider Mac, the artificial intelligence that humbles me regularly here on the game, or whether I should spend more time in commentary. And my trusted advisors are split on it, and I get it both ways. So I'm going to keep playing the game because I really love it. I think it is an anodyne of a game. You know, it makes you better, cures your ills. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. Cures your bad gait, your awful smile, those floppy ears, that beer belly. Spider Solitaire. Cheap at double the price, and I think I will. Anyway, I do find it an entrancing game. When I'm talking and playing, I know I miss moves. People tell me I feel so silly sitting here looking at a move you obviously don't see, wondering what's the matter with you, boy. And I have the same concerns on occasion. Of course, I suspect I know what's the matter with me. I'm 80 years old. Stuff just seems to be the matter when you're in your advanced years. That's why I call this Twitch for old people. You gotta check out Twitch if you haven't. It's quite a varietous site now. It does all kinds of stuff. It's really big in esports, where teams of fantastic game players, as opposed to me, for instance, compete. And there are teams that get ahead, and there are people who make a lot of money at it because they're so darn good. I would not survive in that ecosystem, but I do enjoy thinking of this as sort of Twitch for old people. Solitaire is extremely popular with my demographic. Spider Solitaire is kind of newer, so it's not up there with the massive games, but Microsoft has one that they put on their computers, and get some Windows 10 or way on back to XP. I think they had Spider Solitaire. And it's different from this one. Look, I got a jack string. Jack all the way down to an ace. Ace makes it a string. That's not a bad thing to have. Past halfway through the game. Close, but not quite. or as we used to say all the time, no cigar. I think it had to do with carnivals, where you throw the ball and try to knock over the weighted fake milk bottles. And if you knocked them over during a certain period of our history, you'd win a cigar. The guy might wind up, throw a powerful throw and knock 2 of the 3 bottles over, and the other one they couldn't knock over with a sledgehammer, but it's sitting there, and the guy behind the counter, close, but no cigar. Might not have done a bad W.C. Fields while doing it, but I can't help myself, as you know. If you can't, who can? So what about this? Huh? And then this. Huh? A score. He said modestly. So, now all of a sudden I'm $21 ahead. $500 to play, $5.50 to break even, $1 a play. And I've got 571. That's 21 over 550. So I'm rocking and rolling here. Fans. I did this so I could do that. Gives me a Jack 4 stack. They're just stacks till they get an ace. In my youth, buxom women were described as stacked. I never quite knew why. I'm sure I could Google it. It's not okay, Google. Don't look it up. We all Google too much. A little samba rhythm behind that, and I'm sure that would just be spiffy. Oh, well, if I did this, I'd make a possibility for that. And why not? What else am I going to do with that 7? I'll just cover it up. This, I'd have that 2. Oh yeah, I could do this, sure. Kind of messed up my play on that king, but it wasn't about to happen anyway, I think. If it was, I shall weep and gnash. Speaking of weeping and gnashing, the Charlie Gard thing, which caught everyone's empathy button, but that poor kid who had that catastrophic metabolic problem in Britain, and became a viral topic because of the controversy about his parents wanting to just go beyond the pale to try to keep the kid alive, and something in the British health services inhibited that, got everybody all bent out of shape. And I don't know why, but I didn't look at it sympathetically. I did feel sorry for the kid, and I certainly felt sorry for his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Gard, I assume. But you look at it in the context of, say, the vast and murderous combinations of famine and war that are going on in the Horn of Africa. My gosh. I mean, 20 million people are at imminent risk of starving to death, and many of them are children. There's Ethiopia and Somalia and Kenya and Uganda, South Sudan, and what's it on the bottom of Saudi Arabia? Oh, one of the worst. It's more war than classical famine, but the result is classical famine. I had a map here. Check this out, map fans. This is what blew me away. Obviously, this is the Horn of Africa, and here are all those countries, in here and all over the whole Horn, all those countries I mentioned. And this is how bad it was in January. Now watch as we move just from January to August. Whoa! I mean, now it looks like maybe a third of all the land mass is in crisis. Huge emergencies where people are going to be very, very susceptible to all kinds of killing things, especially children. And when it goes clear up to famine, that means people are dying right now, and there's blots of them all over this area here. So, but you look at those pictures of those kids who've been in famine for years and years, and their growth is stunted, and their minds are underdeveloped, and their arms are this big around, and they're 2/3 as tall as they ought to be, and there are tens of thousands of them. And to me, that puts the Charlie Gard thing in some sort of ironical. It's sad, but I mean, it's just not the same category as a famine that's threatening 20 million people, many, many of them children. So, for all of my righteous indignation or whatever it is about that, I still did $4 to the positive. So, I'm happy with that. I'm not happy with the famines. I'm at least happy with spider solitaire. And it's great and seductive danger. It can make you feel placid when you ought to feel all exercised. Once again, I don't wear this for affect. No, effect. Affect is how you feel. Effect is what I do it because I'm a powerhouse advocate for us old people to wear them, so you can walk around the house without stepping on a fake dog bone that slips out from under you and throws you 4 feet and breaks 2 or 3 of your hips. That guy had more hips than you could shake a rumba at. But I surely don't see, well, there's a move. Yeah, well, big deal. So bring that 10 over here. It's already on a jack. So it was a meaningless move. So I gave away now I'm only making $3. Oh well. Be at peace with yourself. Love your neighbors. Forgive those who assail you with evil thoughts. Be saint-like. I think that's good advice. Just go out there and saint it up.